Okay.
Yes,
I'm really gonna
I
have
was
to.
gonna say, I need to do something. My shoulder looks like a football player. I need to like.
I got man arms anyway. I need
Whatever. I'm busy. Want to jump out of my shirt.
Kind of push them up and do something like this.
I'm just gonna like maybe like sit.
Are we gonna be like oh, I hate that.
Look how big my boobs look.
Well, then let's go ahead and just. I'm just.
Can we just like not be videotaped?
Just
Yeah.
audio.
No. Here.
Yeah, just
Like
audio.
We'll
just
just
show
do this.
that, and
Yeah.
then we'll just talk.
Well, I sure would have wore some jeans. I didn't know we were gonna do that.
That'd be all right.
I would have dressed up.
It is.
I was gonna say I wouldn't have like a bum today.
Okay.
For the experience.
Okay.
I would have to agree. Just for the experience.
For the fun of it.
Brandon drafted us, didn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna say Brandon was a
It's all
good
Brandon's
recruiter.
fault.
When he and his mother, it was
Yeah.
a little bit hard to say no.
Now see,
Okay.
that's perfect. So we can't see.
Yeah.
Is it black?
Black
It
screen.
is.
Lauren, would you do me a huge favor and trade me spots? I am so self-conscious about sitting here with my
Sit up there.
Oh,
Lark.
No, well, last year he asked me to be a judge for the finale, and his logic is that I have a sales and marketing background, and I brought that perspective to the contestants, to what they were looking for, and then he asked me to come back and be a judge for the auditions this time and to help out.
I was recruited via Sarah. We go to school together at Tri-City Barber College, and I guess he saw potential.
He asked me about it because he knew I was in barber school, and we met at Bellarmine before I came to barber school, and I thought that it would be a good opportunity to practice on people and learn how to style, and she wanted to come too.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah, so mine's kind of similar. I'm going to school for apparel design and merchandising, so he recruited me, said I could practice styling some contestants. So.
There you go. I have an extensive background in high school dramatics and community theater, and have staged a number of musical plays as well as straight plays, and then performed in several plays, so he thought maybe I might have something to contribute.
I can say personally, I was very pleasantly surprised because, I mean, Carrollton's a small town, so you don't really know how much talent's going to come out, but we have some really good singers, so I'm excited.
I think I, in my mind, know the select few that are going to be the ones who are, like, make it to the end, but obviously I can't say my opinion out loud of who I think it is, but I think there's some really talented people that are here.
This is my first year, and I'm not originally from this area, so I have no idea. I'm actually really excited to see what does come out here.
Well, last year I came in at the last minute, and so I didn't get to see all of this growth that I have seen in the past couple of months since we did the audition. So that's been very interesting to see how much participation there's been and how much they've worked in order to get to sound like they do today.
Yeah, along with what Kathy says, when I first came for the semifinals, I guess it was, and saw the group for the first time, and to see them today, there's a marked difference in both their attitude to what they're doing and their performance abilities. That they've come a very, very long way. Musically, we have some very strong people, and they just need to be polished up a bit, and I think they have polished themselves really well.
I think so too. It's interesting to see it, try to see it from their eyes, that they are so intense on this, and that in their lives, in each one of them, this is huge. And I think that is I have to give them credit for what they're doing, and you know how much they're trying, and I know that's hard.
And there's a difference between being a karaoke singer
Exactly.
and actually entertaining someone in a professional manner. And I think this is what we've come to see here, is a group of people who have gone to the point where they are becoming professional about their entertainment.
You know, Sam, we heard that a little bit when we did the auditions. and people say, well, I sang karaoke, and this is not karaoke, you know. And I think that it was like, whoa, I've got to really get my game, because this is not the same as being in a bar with
Yeah,
your
right.
friends and
With a bunch of people drinking adult beverages who really don't care what you
exactly.
sound.
And they sound better.
Yeah. And also, there's the unknown factor of how they're going to react to a large audience, because I don't know how large the audiences that they have sung for have sung before. Said too many befores. Anyway, and how they're going to react to the fact that there may be a couple of hundred people out there, and it can be frightening. It can be very frightening.
Well, that's why I thought last night was really good for them. I didn't go downtown when they did the group song. What's called Flash Mob.
Yeah.
But that was a good experience for them, because it's a whole lot different than just performing here in a very quiet atmosphere wherever they've been. So that would kind of get them ready for tomorrow night.
And performing in front of people who are already very supportive of you.
Exactly,
it's
that's
family or
true.
friends
That's
or
a good
whatever
point
it may be.
too. Yeah. All that can go wrong will.
Right.
And will go on.
Getting used to the tech sometimes can throw you for a loop if you're not used to having to be in certain places so the spots can pick you up and where the mics don't feed back on one another. It can be hard. I mean, being in show business is not easy. Nobody understands that it is a tough profession.
Yeah, and having to harmonize with the group and not just do your own thing, but you got to listen for the sound of what everybody else is doing and come in when you're supposed to and all that.
And most of these people have not done group singing before. It's a new experience for them, and they have done so very well. They have done so very well. Some very strong male voices who have learned to harmonize beautifully, and
I agree.
as well as the female voices. But it's really hard to get a group of guys to sing that aren't used to singing together. So they've done well. The girls already had it. They knew what they were doing.
What are y'all doing?
Y'all are so good. So cute.
I've been talking for like 10 minutes on the same.
All right, moving on. So what do you all have
It's
to
great.
contribute to
We
this
should-
No, nothing.
conversation?
You guys are
That
doing
was
great.
so funny. We truly were the monkeys in the middle.
Like,
No, no,
totally,
no.
like, coming to have a conversation.
I was like, well, how are you going to do that? Because that's
And that's
going
a
to be
difficult
rough.
question because they each have different strengths and weaknesses. I think musically, as far as theory and knowing music, I think James has got it all. I mean,
Yeah.
he plays, he performs, he writes, he knows pretty much what he's doing. As far as voice-wise with the guys, depending on what kind of voice you're looking for, Connor Durman can out-sing anybody. I mean, he can be heard.
Chris has got some lungs too, though.
Yeah. But Chris
I love
is,
Connor,
yeah,
though. His
Connor's
voice is very
Connor's got
cool.
that booming
This is,
voice.
Yeah.
Chris's voice is much more
This is
delicate.
James.
In a good way.
Mhm.
way.
Yeah, Connor's good.
Obviously, female-wise, you've got a little tiny girl with a big booming voice.
Jackie.
Esperanza. No,
You got two
Esperanza.
of them, really.
She's,
Jackie
yeah, I was gonna
and
say Jackie
Esperanza.
and Esperanza. They're amazing.
Yeah.
I was blown away when I heard them
Yeah,
last
yeah.
night. So good.
You can't imagine that 5 feet of person can.
I was saying they're the two
Wail
biggest
like-
voices out there. They're the
Yeah,
tiniest.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I think guy-wise, my favorite is Chris, and girl-wise, my favorite is probably in between Esperanza and Jackie. They're both really good in completely different ways.
Right.
Yeah, they're different.
That's what I say. They each have their own unique qualities that make them strong. And
Now,
say it's
Jackie
hard for the
performed
guys,
last
too.
year,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh, she is way more than a year ahead of where she was last year when she performed. She's obviously been doing a whole lot of work on her singing and her performance skills, because I can see a big difference. So you want us to really pick? That's hard.
Yeah.
You all have already kind
Just
of like
one, or like for guys and for girls?
just one.
Ooh.
And it will be
Just
hard.
one.
Yes, and I'm just gonna have
I'm
to
Sounds
accept it.
good.
I'm gonna pick Team Jackie because I love her shoes. I don't know how she sings. I
Well,
haven't.
she's got
like
heels
years
like
above her.
this. I mean, she looks really cute in it, but I couldn't even walk across the floor, much less perform on stage in it. What do you think,
Well,
Sam?
there's such a wide variety of genres that are
I know.
represented, and
It's so
each
hard.
person does their
It's so
particular
well,
genre
yeah.
that you can't really, and a lot will depend on how much nerves come into play with
Yeah.
what they do tomorrow night, because they're all very capable. We have some that, as I said, don't have a lot of experience, but they have worked so hard, and it shows so much in the improvements of their performances over the last, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it's been. So it's hard to really pick out.
The other thing that's going to be really hard is we don't know what songs they're going to sing. And we went through this when we did the auditions and when we did the boot camp. I don't know where they come up with some of the ideas for songs. You
That's
think, really? That's what you're going to sing?
Yeah.
You've got like 10 bazillion songs out there and that's the one you're going to sing? And sometimes they pick the wrong one.
Yeah,
So,
song
you know,
choice is
you-
important.
I was watching Rising Star the other night on TV, and those are very, very highly trained professional musicians. And they told the ones who they voted down that was the reason. Not because they couldn't sing, but because they picked a song that didn't
Showcase
fit.
their
You
voice.
think, how in the heck did that happen
Yeah.
on national
Yeah.
TV in a contest like that? But I sure see it happen.
Yeah, and another thing that has to play into it is it's all well for us to hear and talk about these people, but we're not judging them. And,
Phew,
a
thank goodness.
lot depends on your judges, on what their personal tastes are, and on where their training comes from, as to what kind of music they consider to be legitimate music.
Because someone like James, who's a little bit more singer-songwriter out there, might not get as much recognition if they aren't used to
Yeah,
something
well, I mean,
like
he's
that.
not a strong singer,
Yeah.
but technically he knows
Just-
music.
Yeah, yeah.
So who do you pick, Kathy?
I'm gonna go way out there and pick Krista. If she sings the right songs, she will be amazing. And that's the problem that I've heard from her when she's been doing little short snippets of songs, and I think, ooh, that's really good. Ooh, not so much. But she's got a really interesting Patsy Cline voice, country, and I hope that's the direction she goes.
I pick Brandon.
Team Brandon!
Do I get paid now?
Make an appearance.
You have to make an appearance. We referenced you.
I'm Team Jackie.
Team Chris.
I'm team undecided.
No,
I'm team not gonna answer that question.
I'm telling you, you're not gonna get in trouble.
No, it's too hard. I mean,
Yeah.
It is.
are you looking for those who are technically more advanced, or are you looking for those who have just gutted it out and are doing great things compared to what they were doing? It's just hard to say.
Yeah,
And I
that's
say
right.
that depends on what the judges are looking for. I have a little bit of experience in doing beauty contests. Don't hate me for it, girls, but
But you are gorgeous.
and well, no, judging and producing.
He was actually in here.
Right.
Sam was on the runway.
That's right. Anyway, what I was going to
He
say.
won evening gown multiple
When
times.
you bring in
Swimsuit.
no swimsuit,
Oh,
speedo.
okay.
Okay, we crossed that line.
Oh, no.
Anyhow, back to the point, and there is the point. I'm not like a Texas Longhorn, a point here and a point there, and a lot of bull in between. But anyway,
I've heard that a lot.
when you put something in the hands of the judges, you've lost total control, because sometimes
You gotta get that.
in a beauty contest, judges are looking for runway models. Sometimes in a beauty contest, they're looking for the girl next door. So this team of judges and judging singers tomorrow, they're looking for those who could do Broadway musicals? Are they looking for those who could do large concert venues? Are they looking for up-and-comers? What are they looking for?
Maybe
That's true.
an all-around,
Right,
rounded
right,
individual that
right,
can do
right.
different things.
Well, I know that Josh will be back. He was a judge for the first and second year. He was with me last year. He's going to be able to have a little history with these groups and be able to see overall. And he might even say, you know, that Brandon is getting better overall in producing this. I think so. I think that's true. So the other two judges, I don't know. And so I know what you mean about the judges because I've been involved in other events. And if you've got one judge that is just really, really strongly, has a strong opinion about one particular candidate, they'll try to influence the other judges, and maybe it'll go a totally different direction than what you thought. Like an election, practically.
There you
You
go.
know, you think you know how it's going to go, and then all of a sudden there's some other factors that get thrown in there, and you wind up going off in a completely different direction. So it's going to be hard because they do have. I think it's going to. I'm glad I'm not judging at this point because first you got to go through that elimination and get it down to what are they going down to 5, 6?
Six and then
Okay,
three.
so half.
Yeah.
We're going from 12 to 6.
Yeah, and you know, as you say, song choices at this point is the unknown. I do know what they're singing, and it depends on how they handle it, because some of them I would not have chosen those particular songs for a competition, but it's their choice.